Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing the Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave expansion, MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. Here's our MORGOK'S KRUSHAS expansion set for Beastgrave, and a great looking set that I can't wait to unbox and see what's included. And on the front you can see we've got some great artwork. I really like the Beastgrave theme and branding they've gone with, and this has continued into the Direchasm set and the expansions as well, so they've kept the kind of branding similar for those two seasons. And looking on the sides there, a repeat of the cover artwork, and then here it just goes through telling you that the miniatures included are easy to build and you'll be able to construct your deck and then defeat your rivals. And then on the back it tells us exactly what we're going to get. And it says, MORGOK'S KRUSHAS have come to Beastgrave looking for the fight of their lives. Upgrade Warhammer Underworlds with the MORGOK'S KRUSHAS expansion, containing the MORGOK'S KRUSHAS, warband and 59 unique cards to enhance your fighters. This pack provides new tactics and challenges for Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave. But it's not just for Beastgrave, we can use it with Direchasm 2 and the other sets, so it goes, you know, with all those different sets you can use this. And in the contents again, so we got 3 fighters, 3 fighter cards, 32 MORGOK'S KRUSHAS cards, and 27 universal upgrade, power and objective cards. And this miniature is supplied unpainted, and it shows here in the actual size, and you're going to get 3, and these are easy to build, so really quick to put together, and these are the 3 that we're going to get. So there we go, that's the box. So let's get it open and see what's inside. So here we go, let's open it up. So you normally get a little plastic tab there, so we'll just cut that. And then this should open really nicely, it says. There we go. Oh, there's another one there. Let's get that too. And then these are really nice. They come with like a little tray and everything's kept nice and neat and safe inside. So let's get rid of the box, put that to one side. And so here's the contents. We get this little black tray here. It keeps all the cards nice and protected. And we get our sprues on top. And we get 1, 2 of these small sprues. Then we're going to get our instruction book. And then we're going to get the 2 packs of cards. And one will be for MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. And 1 pack will be the universal pack. I'll put this tray to one side, but it's handy to keep these and keep them in the box, especially until you paint the miniatures, and keep the cards safe. But there we go, put that to one side. So let's take a look at the sprues first. We'll have a close look at those. Then we'll have a look at the instruction book that comes with it. Then we'll open the packs and flick through so you can see the different artwork that's included. Then once we've done that, I'll go away, build the models so you can see them built, and then I'll pick out some of the top picks from the 2 card packs, and we'll also go through the individual fighter cards one at a time with the miniature alongside it. So starting with the sprues, let's do this one first. I really love the Underworld sets. They come with all the bases pre-formed, so you don't have to craft those, and it saves a ton of time, and it can get you up and playing really quickly. And these are in this nice green colour, and you find with the Warhammer Underworld sets, each warband is a different colour, so even if you didn't paint them, you could still play and they wouldn't clash, unless you were playing the same warband against each other. But, you know, you've got to paint them, obviously. That's the fun part of the hobby, so these will be all painted up. But you can see some great detail on these. And another great thing with Underworld sets is they're so unique, and there's tons of detail. Like this weapon is really cool, and you're going to get loads of detail on the bases. Let's spin it over. And you can see when you push fit them together, these little bits go into there. And I generally trim that off and then glue them. So it says you don't need to glue, but I glue them because you want it nice and secure, especially when we're going to paint and play with them a lot. And I'll also be using them in Warcry as well. So there we go, there's the first sprue. Tons of detail and a really nice weapon there. And let's take a look at the second one. Now this is going to have most of the body parts, and this is looking great already. Really awesome. So he's got the little headpiece here, the hair up in the ponytail. Some real cool weapons. So these are coming with these big clubs, loads of armour, and these are going to be great fun to build, paint and play with. So I can't wait for that. And there's one of the faces there. looking pretty mean and menacing. Let's zoom in, focus on that. There he is. So that's great. So that's the sprues. Now let's take a look at the instruction book. And the instruction book for these sets are really small. There's not going to be much information in here. It just says read this first. And you open it up and it tells you how to assemble them. And again, no glue required, but I recommend gluing and also trimming down those little points as well. And it shows us it's really easy to put together. There's 1, 2 and 3 miniatures, all done in a couple of steps and only a few parts each. So that's really nice and easy. And there we go on the back as well, just adding that extra bit on. And you can see them all built. So that's it. It's really simple to put together. No paint guide, but you can find loads of resources online. And I'll be picking one of these and doing a paint video for it really soon. So that's the instruction book. Now let's open the cards, and then we'll flick through quickly and take a look at all the artwork. So let's start with a MORGOK'S KRUSHAS card pack. I'm just going to be careful opening this up here. I don't want to damage these. And I've got some card protectors for the card, which I'll do a separate video on real soon, and then you can see those. Definitely worth getting, especially for the fighter cards, and I'll also be using those for Warcry 2 to protect the cards. So here we are, and this gives us a little introduction to MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. And it says here, Morgok and his mob of iron-jaw brutes once hunted down and fought the greatest prey they could find amongst Gur's trackless wastes. Whether they ran down spiny Nephrodals or fought the storm warriors of Sigmar, Morgok's KRUSHAS sought the mightiest trophies in the name of their bellicose deity Gorka Morka. While roaming a plain of ancient bones, the Ironjaw's boss heard from afar the clash and clangour of battle. They pursued the sounds across the wilds until they arrived at Beastgrave. The noises were echoing from the mountain's tunnels. Invigorated by war energy that would only increase with each conflict, the brute boss led his cronies down into the caverns to win glories in the eyes of the great green god. So that's a really cool introduction to MORGOK'S KRUSHAS, and really nice. And on the back, that artwork again. So the cards are really awesome. I love all the kind of work they put into these. A little bit of narrative to get you started is really fun. And then here's the cards. So these are going to be the fighter cards. And it looks like we're getting a dude called Ardskull, Morgok and Thug. So there's our 3 fighter cards, and you can see on the back when they're inspired as well. And we'll take a look at these later on in the video. Once I've built the miniatures, we'll run through them all the way through each one. And so here we go. So now here's our cards. So here we go. So we're going to get our Gambit cards, and these are our ploys with the dagger. Then we're going to get our upgrade cards. And in here we should see some spells maybe. Oh no, not for these. We're not going to get spells for these. So he's just a warrior rather than a sorcerer or wizard. And then here's our objective cards. So let's take a look at the Gambit cards and the upgrade cards first. And so here we are. Some great artwork. These are going to be really great. And we'll just flick through these. And then later on I'll pick some of my favourite ones out. The top picks. And then we'll have a close look at those once the miniatures are built. But some really great artwork. Love it. Looking really cool. And this is a great part of the Warhammer Underworlds game. Collecting the cards, checking out the artwork, and the narrative behind the different upgrades and Gambit cards that come with them. It's really fun. Nice, that's really good. There we go. So that's 2 more. Vessel of the War Edbutt. Brilliant. I can't wait to read these. They're going to be some really cool names for these guys. So there we are, there's those ones. Now let's look at the objective cards. And again, these are the ones specific to MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. So these are going to be fun to read through too, and see which ones suit them and how they're going to kind of play out on the battlefield. Nice, really nice. Yeah, looking really good. Love it. There we are, so that's their objective cards. Now let's open the next pack, and the next pack will be the universal cards. So let's get these open. I'll just take my time. There we are. So these are the universal ones, and these you can use for any warbands. So this is great. And there's probably not going to be any spells in here. We'll have to find out. So looking at that other one, there was no spell cards. Oh no, we do. We are going to get some spells. So that's nice. Get this open. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, so we get some spells, so that's good. And we also get the ploys, upgrades, and objectives. So let's have a flick through to check out the artwork as well. And it's going to be cool to read through these two and see which ones we want to use and how they apply to all the different war bands. But it's a really nice style, the artwork to this. Really good. Totally different to Warcry. Real different look and vibe to the whole thing. But the great thing with this game is you can take the miniatures, which is so individual, and put them into Warcry for some heroes and allies or favoured warriors. They look really good. That's a great piece of artwork. That's awesome. So that's the universal ones. And now let's look at the objective cards and see what we're going to get. Nice. Really cool. So I haven't unboxed the Beastgrave box set yet, but I'll be doing that soon. But if you haven't seen it already, you can see the Direchasm box set unboxed. And I've just painted Bahana from Mayari's Purifiers, so you can watch his paint video too. But there we go. That's all the cards now. So what I'll do is I'll go away, get those miniatures built, and then we can look at their fighter cards really closely and some top picks from the 2 decks here. And here we go. Here are the 3 miniatures all built, and we've got this guy here is called Thug. Then we've got Morgok, and then the third one is Ardskull. So they're really easy to put together, real quick, and these went together quite well actually. Sometimes with the Underworld miniatures, you can get some kind of little gaps between where the joins are, but these have gone together pretty well. I think once they're painted, they're going to look really cool. I mean, this one here, if you can see that little gap there, you could fill that in with some green stuff, maybe some liquid green stuff. I've never used it, but I've seen a lot of people doing it. But otherwise, pretty good. They look really great. Lots of good detail, real fun characters, and they're going to be really good to play. And I've had a good look through the cards, and they look really great. And these kind of guys are really tough. And it looks like you're going to be wanting to push them forward, always on the attack. And they're going to be a real fun warband to play, I think. So let's have a look at their fighter cards, and then we'll go through one at a time, and we'll go through their characteristics and statistics. So let's do Thug first, and you can see that at the top of the card you get this little icon, and that matches the miniature, so you know exactly what card you're going to use it for. And then you get your faction rune mark here, and then we've got the weapon statistics, and these are called smashers. He's got these 2 really cool looking clubs, and they've got a range of 1. He can make 3 attacks, that's 3 dice he can roll, and he's looking for swords, and then or daggers, and then he can deal 2 wounds. And then his movement is 3. His defense rolls, he can roll 1 dice, but he's got 5 damage points. So this guy's pretty tough. He can take some serious damage. And for him to inspire, he just needs 2 or more war counters on this card. And it says here for his special ability, after this fighter's activation, in which they made 1 or more attack actions, place 1 war counter on this card. And then if we flick it over, let's look at him being inspired. So now we've got Thug inspired, and we can see the smashers remain the same. And we've got a range of 1, dealing 3 attack dice, dealing 2 damage. And he's gone up here in movement. He can move 4. He can roll 1 defense dice with 5 wounds that he can take. But he's got a little bit extra in the way of abilities now. And it says here, after this fighter's activation, in which they made 1 or more attack actions, place 1 war counter on the card. So that's the same as regular Thug. But now he's got an extra one for smashers. And it says, remove any number of war counters from this card before making the attack roll. That attack action has 1+ dice for each counter you remove. So that's a really great ability. So the idea with these guys, looking through their ploys and their objective cards, is really to get them to have lots of these war counters and then use them up for their extra abilities. So that's really good. And that's our first miniature, and that was Thug. And our next fighter now is Ardskull, and again he's got the image that matches him on the top of the card and the faction rune mark. And then here he's got his Gore Basher, range of 1, 2 attack dice, so he's looking for daggers, and he can deal 3 damage, so 3 wounds he can put out if he's successful. He's got a movement of 3, 1 dice to roll for defense, and he can also take 5 damage points. So these are very tough, really like strong with those 5 damage points. And again, for him to inspire exactly the same as Thug and the same ability. So let's flip it over and check him out when he's inspired. So we've got Ardskull inspired, and now you'll see that he's gone up here. He's got an extra attack dice, so that's 3 he can roll now. But he's got this Frenzied Whirl, and that's a scything action, so he's got a little bit extra going on there. And his movement's increased too, so he's got a movement of 4 now. And again here, remove, for the Gore Basher, remove any number of war counters from this card before making the attack roll. The attack action has 1+ damage for each counter you remove. So this is a little bit different now, so rather than having that extra dice, this deals 1 extra damage. So that's interesting. They're going to be really fun to play with the 2 different kind of abilities there, but the goal really is to get these war counters on and then start inspiring them so they can make the most of those abilities, because they're going to be pretty destructive. Okay, so that's Ardskull inspired. Now let's look at the main man, Morgok. And here's Morgok, a great looking miniature, matching up with his picture there and the faction rune mark. And his weapons are boss choppers, and they've got a range of 1. You can make 2 attack rolls. Here's 2 dice, and he's looking for hammers, and he's dishing out 3 wounds. He's got a movement range 3 and can make 1 roll to defend, and he's looking at taking 5 damage there, so 5 wounds he can take, so he's pretty tough again at 5. He's got the same ability there, but he's also got this one, which is remove 1 war counter from this card, then push each friendly fighter up to 2 hexes. So that's a really good ability there. He's really getting those other 2 fighters in amongst it and pushing them into things. So let's have a look now, flick the card over and see Morgok inspired. And so we've seen a few changes here. We've got the boss choppers now have gone from 1, 2 and 3 to 1, 3, 3. And those hammers have changed to daggers now. So he's got 3 dice, but looking for daggers instead and dealing 3 damage points. And his movement's gone up again, so we're really increasing the move as we inspire this warband. And let's have a look if his abilities change. And so yeah, he's got an extra one here, and this says remove 1 war counter from this card, then push each friendly fight up to 2 hexes. So we've seen that one. Let's have a look. Boss choppers. So we haven't seen this. You can re-roll 1 attack dice in the attack roll for this attack action. So that's good. So a simple ability that you can just use, and you can re-roll 1 attack dice in the attack roll. So this is great. Once he inspires, he gets the extra dice, changes to daggers, but you can re-roll 1 of those. So that's really awesome, and that's going to give him some definitely some good ability to dish out some wounds there. So there we are. That's Morgok inspired, and now we've gone through all the fighters in the warband. So let's take a look at the cards, the top picks I've picked out from the 2 decks, and we'll look at MORGOK'S KRUSHAS cards first. So the first one I picked out was a ploy called Brutal Attack. Avit says Thug, and it says here it's +1 dice to the first attack action made by a friendly fighter in the next activation. After that attack action, place 1 war counter on that fighter's fighter card. So there we are, simply add a dice to the attack action and you get a counter. So that's all going to really help to get these guys inspired and help to use those extra abilities. So I felt this was a real narrative driven card, and certainly one of the favourites that stood out as I went through the deck. And now the next one is an upgrade, and this is called Incredible Bellow, and this is specific and restricted to Morgok. And it says here, pick 1, push all adjacent enemy fighters up to 2 hexes, or push all other friendly fighters up to 1 hex. So again, it's using that push, the Incredible Bellow of War, to get the fighters into the fray and get them stuck in. So I really like that one. Again, very much to the narrative, and also plays in with the ability as well, really pushing that idea and character that comes with Morgok. Okay, now I've picked out one of the objective cards for MORGOK'S KRUSHAS, and this is called Brute Triumph. Nothing left but bodies and wreckage. Score this in an end phase if all enemy fighters are out of action. And this is for 5 glory points. So the idea here is you just want to destroy the whole enemy. And I really like that as a main objective to take this warband into battle with. So there we are. That's the 3 picks that I really liked from the deck that came specifically for MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. But now let's have a look at the 3 picks from the Universal deck. And the first card from the Universal deck is the Ploy, and this is called Blood Scent, like daggerfish to wounded prey. And here you can add 2 dice to the first attack action in the next activation if the target has 1 or more wound tokens. So this is great. If you smell a bit of blood there, and that's going to spur these guys on, they're going to get 2 dice, plus 2 dice to the first attack action in the next activation if their target has 1 or more wound tokens. So a real powerful ploy there, and I think would be put to really good use by any of the 3 fighters in MORGOK'S KRUSHAS. Next we've got an upgrade, and this is called Amber Bone Sword, and kind of having a sword with these guys might not seem like the obvious way to go, and I think this might be something I'd use in perhaps a different warband. But I really like the idea here. You get those 3 attack dice, and you're looking at hammers, which increases your odds. You're going to dish out 2 points of damage, but if you take out an enemy fighter with this, you can discard the card and then get a glory point. So I really like this card, and this isn't one I've seen from the other decks that I've opened so far. So I really like that one. And then the final card I picked from the Universal deck is the Objective card, and that's called Over My Dead Body. And this is a quote from Morgok: "You'll have to go through me to get it." And this is a surge. Score this immediately after an enemy fighter's attack action that targets a friendly fighter if the friendly fighter was holding an objective at the start of that action and is still holding that objective. So I think this would be a great card to get one of Ardskull or Thug onto an objective in enemy territory, lure in the enemy to kind of attack them, and with their big 5 hit points or damage points that they can take, there's a good chance that they're going to survive that attack and still be holding that objective. So I thought that was a really good kind of sneaky objective card to use and would really match MORGOK'S KRUSHAS and their tactics. So there we go, that's the cards I've picked out, and we've gone through everything you get in the box and gone through the individual fighter cards as well now. And I've got to say, I really like this set. I think they're great looking miniatures, as always, and I think they've got some really cool abilities, and they're going to be really fun to play. I think these are certainly, out of the ones I've looked at so far, these are one of my favourite ones. So I can't wait to get a game with these and see how it plays out on the battlefield. And I think these are also going to be perfect to add as some heroes or allies into the, or to just to expand the warband for the Iron Jaws for Warcry 2. So lots of potential here with this box set. I really like it. It'd be great to hear what you think about this set. Maybe you've played MORGOK'S KRUSHAS already. So yeah, it'd be awesome if you could add some feedback and thoughts in the comment section below. What kind of tactics works for them, what you'd add or take away. And also, if I've made any mistakes throughout these videos, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm still learning the Underworlds game and getting used to it all. So yeah, please, any corrections, just pop them down below. That would be awesome. Thank you. I'll put a link in the comment section below where you can pick up MORGOK'S KRUSHAS from Element Games, and that'll be affiliate link, but it won't cost you anything extra. In fact, it could save you up to 20% on the sets there, and for every sale made through the affiliate link, I get a small commission that's going to help me develop the channel and create loads more videos like this. So thanks so much for that support. I really appreciate it. If you like the content and would like to support the channel even more, then please check out my Patreon page. It's a great community. We've got a Discord channel where we hang out, discuss the hobby, share all our projects. It's really fun. And you can also pick up some perks that you're just not going to get anywhere else. So it'd be awesome to see you over on Patreon, and I'll put the link for that in the description too. I hope you liked the video, and I hope it gave you a good idea of what you're going to get in the box, and as well a little sneak preview at some of the cards. Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.